Welcome to Being Reintegrated. This is Tim Wright. So it's been a little while since I made a video, and one of the reasons behind that is I've been swamped with this new effort. Kim Publishing has launched completely into what was the dream, which is to do a reform of most of esotericism. So we started with the Willermosian material, which was to separate Willermosian Masonic tradition from Lechos. So we did that. Next was the exposition of Saint Martin in his Boma days, which is through the spirit of things. We gave some Kabbalistic commentary and the uncreated light. And then there's been a few more books. Recently, though, I've been trying to augment and assist the SI community in bringing Similas material out. So the Frere d'Orient and the Similas, the Rose Croix d'Orient, all that stuff is being made available through Kim Publishing, which eventually I'm going to reveal to everyone the big reveal, which is that there's a pre-Papuzian Martinism. But I've been busy digging razor clams out in the Pacific Northwest, riding motorcycles, having a great time living this publisher life. So I've been doing all that, and then in addition, I've been doing the books. So recently, though, that's just an update on why I'm not available. Recently, though, I came across Frere d'Orient kind of yoga. And that is something I'm really interested in sharing more about. Now, what I thought I would do is this is pretty private stuff, which I turned into a book, and the book is available, but it's not available to the general public. I'm not sure whether or not we need to keep that limited to this podcast or if it is material that can be shared. So right now, the Amazon link is available only to Patreon subscribers. If you go to Being Reintegrated and you subscribe, you will have an Amazon link available to you to pick up the Frere d'Orient Yoga book. But I can't make that permanently available to the internet. I mean, you can find it. If you're good at internet sleuthing, you'll probably be able to find it. Since I cannot get a publisher copy of the book without publishing on Amazon, you may just be able to find it. And if you do, good to you that you're able to follow me so closely that you can get books that I don't intend for the general public. And the reason why is because it requires contextualization. It's not because I'm gatekeeping at all. You can have it, but you'll need to be walked through some of the profundity of the exercises, because what it does essentially is it presents some of the Vajrayana synthesis teaching, Vajrayana meaning esoteric Buddhism, with the Western Hermetic, essentially Hermes Trismegistus material that has kind of a good fusion to it. With Gnostic and Rosicrucian elements. So I really like it, and I will continue to talk about it, because I think it's the integrative practice that brings about the real work in Hermeticism. So that's something that Being Reintegrated patrons will have, and I will make a link available after this video for that. Since it's been published. Now, the hard part about all this material is, like I said, contextualization. It's not just an against something. So the whole anti-Willermosian idea is not anti-Willermose for the sake of being anti-Willermose. It's pro-Rose Croix d'Orient and Frere d'Orient. Now, authorities, tend to be like, well, I already have charters to that, so I know it. No, you don't. if you have a charter, it doesn't mean that you know what you're talking about. It means that you were able to get a charter. This is exactly what we saw in Duke the Palatine. Ronald Powell, I think his name is, or Duke the Palatine, as he's known to the Gnostic community, was highly criticized for just collecting warrants and charters without giving any teachings. So, I mean, yeah, you may have a charter, you may feel like you're an authority because you have a certificate, but that doesn't make you anything other than a person with a certificate. So, I mean, yeah, it's difficult when we're in this area because the actual priestly and even ordination to the episcopate, it requires a level of, kind of operation. Not to go too deeply into it, but there's actually something done to you. Now, that's great if you're an authority and you've gotten the Willermosian priestly ordination, but I don't buy it. Because of what I've studied and researched, I don't buy that Willermos was the perpetuation of the Cohen, just the way it is. So anyway, we got the Similas material. Now, I made available, probably due to breaking some rules in these authority circles, but I did make available part 1 and part 2 of the alchemy lectures of Similas. I thought that they were so good, they were so succinct, and they cover so many areas that once you become a SI, we put so much on that title, but once you become a superior inconnu, we'll be able to reveal to you the Pre-Papuzian Martinism as it ties together with everything, along with the Cohen and along with the Rosicrucianism. So there's a fusion between all three of these elements that you may or may not just figure out. I mean, yeah, we're on our 15th book. The Red Lions and White Roses is a new book that gives the alchemy of Similas. Now, the Red Lions and White Roses book, that is not something you're just going to be able to find. It's not something that was available prior to Kim Publishing. So that's a limited stamped edition. The limited edition page is available to any website. I haven't fixed the mobile site yet, but if you go on a desktop, you should be able to go there and order. And I'm having everyone order that directly from me. That is kind of not my baby, but that is the new version of the kind of alchemy that we're doing in this pre-Papuzian Martinism. I'm pretty impressed with what the tradition has revealed. So Red Lions and White Roses is about, to contextualize it for you so you don't think I don't know what I'm talking about, it's about the 4th degree of the Elukoan. What happens is you get reintroduced to the concept of the metals, which is very compatible with what Similas is teaching us through those alchemy lectures. Basically what happens is, to be a red lion, you are giving up the metallic elements in the personality, which they've been psycho-spiritually analyzed by Similas. And I don't think he really goes through the metals, but he does in the Rocroi d'Orient materials. I mean, I do have a chart. I could show you the chart right here. So that ties directly to the exorcism that you get in the 4th degree of the Elukoan. Now, partly what happens is you get one of these metals to go into the realm of metallic personality, or whatever you want to call it, whatever words, and you're exorcised in the 4th degree of the Elukoan. Which we have all the rituals that are available. Now, the red band in the Elukoan is not really available. Those rituals are not available, but they are essentially ordinations. So we ordain you in the order de Coens Resuscite, and what it does is it's a co-ordination with the Rocroi d'Orient, the Elukoan, and an SI ordination. But that's not the Rocroi. The Rokwa is a kind of a special yogic practice that you take in, and you start to experience some of these 6 yogas of Naropa stuff of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Essentially what Similas or the Frere d'Orient did is they synthesized the traditions, the theurgical traditions of Gnosticism, Hermeticism, Vajrayana Buddhism. So it's pretty profound stuff. And I'm very grateful that we have that. So Patreon subscribers, again, will have access to that Amazon book. And then if you're really ready to go into the meat and potatoes of the work, I would highly suggest going to get Red Lions and White Roses. I will be talking about these 2 books specifically. These 2 books are pretty much like the capstone of the Martinism, of Martinist ordination into SI, Rokwa d'Orient, Frères d'Orient. And then in the future, I plan on releasing another book, which is, I can't reveal the name yet, but I'm going to go do research. I don't think anybody has done this, and it's pretty profound. I got to study it, but I'll be making it into a book. And primarily what I did with Kim Publishing, it's not an ego aggrandizement. What happened is I was going to book stores, being a bookmongerer, and what happened is I could not find any books on this vein of thought. There were no Ambelane books. There were no Amadou books, which pretty soon we're going to reproduce the Watkins manuscript with Kim Publishing, which I think is going to be a leather-bound book. I'm going to try my job at gold gilding, leather-bound, limited edition, sealed, numbered and stamped, Kim Publishing for the Watkins manuscript. And then I may, because I don't like to keep things from people, make a paperback version of the entire book that you can get on Amazon. But it might be a paperback hardbound version, so the paperback will be cheaper, but the hardbound will be another hardbound edition, which I may or may not make limited. I'm not trying to hold back anything from anyone, but as a publisher, I have an organization to run here. Speaking of organizations, I got a well-known friend who actually told me to construct a 501(c) because he wants me to become an educational arm of the esoteric tradition. So he has offered to dump money into the nonprofit. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Of course, I'm not going to reveal who people are, but we're going to get corporate backing. It's like in Fight Club has a corporate backer. So, the order has corporate backing now. It has very beneficent funding that is probably going to be coming. Now, I, as a publisher, we're on 15 or so books. I think 16. I'm not sure. I kind of lose track with how many books have been made. And I could go through them. Most of them you can get on Amazon, but Red Lions and White Roses you can't really get on Amazon. I removed all public links to it. Just go to Kim Publishing, click on the title, which looks like that, and you can get the limited edition of it. So that's what I wanted to say, introducing those 2 books. The Alchemy book by Similas is profound. The moment I read it years ago and realizing that it gives a Rosicrucian commentary on the Amphitheater of Wisdom of Coonrath, I was shocked. I mean, I've never been able to find Coonrath's brother's material, which I really, really wanted to find, but I haven't been able to locate that. But the Amphitheater of Wisdom was translated And I think it's being made into a Braille book, so I won't mention the name of the translator, but I have that English version of the English Amphitheater of Wisdom by Coonroth. And also, we have academics who went into this vein, which is Ursula Sulakowski, I think her name is. In The Alchemy of Light, she gives an academic presentation of the amphitheater. But Similas's alchemy lectures say that essentially there was a primordial tradition that Coonroth was part of, which backs up with what I've read in the English version of the amphitheater. And basically what is being said is that Coonroth was an initiate of this organization that has been known in history to be called the Frères d'Orient, or the Brothers of the East. This group is, for all intents and purposes, to be a very comprehensive capstone to Martinism. Essentially what this group did is they created a yoga, they created an initiatic teaching. There's a tarot, so you should be able to see on the there's a Frères d'Orient Tarot, FDO Tarot.com. I made a version of a digital tarot that is, it has a journal to it, and it's free to access, so you can get into kind of the wisdom teachings of Similas. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an audio book out of the presentations. So you'll be able to go to the Arcana, you'll be able to read the alchemy book, you'll be able to go to this digital site of the Frères d'Orient or Similas Tarot, and you'll be able to hear an audio presentation of whatever that card is. It's just the card of the day. It goes to the 22 major arcana. I coded it and made it available to anybody who wants to use it. There is a link there to buy the Similas alchemy book. You know, so I'm not being completely obscuring of everything, but you know, I would highly recommend to get it from Kim Publishing for the limited edition seal. That's numbered. I'm very, very happy this book is selling. I kind of don't want the Amazon version to be used, because Amazon takes 60% of profit. So as a nonprofit, you know, I don't really want to use the profit for Amazon to build themselves so big that we can't compete. But if you want to get it from Amazon, you know, that's a way that you can get it. Or you can come to Kim Publishing and you can give the majority of the money spent on the publishing arm of it, and then I'll send it to you. U.S. shipping is included. International shipping, you'll have to add some money because of tariffs and everything. Not to get political, but you know, that stuff is a little bit extreme right now. So we're not able to really do international shipping included in the price point of the $50 hardbound book, hardbound limited edition numbered book, which you'll see on the inner cover. I'm very grateful that we're able to do all this stuff. Like I said, I'm waiting for France to deliver to me the missing piece of the Watkins manuscript. We went into this Similas detour, basically, and then we have this Frères d'Orient Yoga, which is profound, which I will make a series of instructional videos for Patreon members only. So this will be the only open invitation to the Frères d'Orient Yoga. If you're not following, you're not going to hear it. And then if you're not a Patreon subscriber, you may not be able to buy it. And if you're not a Patreon subscriber, you're probably not going to hear my lectures on the yoga of the Frères d'Orient. So it is structured because, you know, someone's got to pay the bills. You can't just keep making books for free. With little to no profit. So what we're trying to do is create an ecosystem that maintains itself and is stable, gives you something valuable that you can't just buy in a bookstore. So thank you for your support. Moving, like I said, toward our 15th or 16th book. We're definitely getting into the upper numbers of publications. Not to mention, we have those 2 volumes from San Martin, the commentary by Bader. We have commentary on San Martin's books by Bader. The one for Natural Table was so small, it's a Kindle book. But you can go to Kim Publishing, and there's Kindle linked there. And I'm really, really happy that we're moving in this direction. So, yeah, it's a lot of books, but this is mainly an academic society. The Martinists were never just running around pretending that they had some kind of enlightenment. They were all educated, very well-read people. So, I mean, it just goes hand in hand with the fact that we're doing these publications. Anyway, I hope that was enjoyable, informative, and thanks for supporting Being Reintegrated, the work of Kim Publishing as an Illuminous publisher, and all of your support and patronage for the Patreon.